everybody, happy Wednesday and welcome to my channel. Breaking news out of Russia. Maxim Mashkevich was found dead in his holding cell. Maxim Mashkevich is one of the opposition members. He formed his own opposition movement, Retu, in 2017. He was a staunch Russian nationalist. He also was participating in debates with Navalny in early 2000s. He is also a known blogger and had quite a significant following on YouTube. What is also interesting that apparently there's a suicide note found in his cell that was leaked by Telegram Oper, which is a site that leaks law enforcement information. And the note stated that he is apologizing to the prison system for all inconvenience he caused them. Clearly, who would leave a note like that? He also told his family members if he dies that he would have been murdered because he has no desire to die. According to his lawyer, he was severely tortured while interrogated because he was up for release about a year ago. He's been in prison for 5 years. The first charge was extremism, then he was given another charge, and now he was accused of murder from almost 20 years ago. It almost sounds like the same case of Sergei Frugal, who's been accused of plotting murders. It should be important to point out there's a statute of limitation on murder 17 years in Russia. So clearly it would have had to be around 2003-2004 time frame because currently it's 2020. What is also very peculiar in this case, if Russian government and the Kremlin knew about such serious crimes committed by these individuals, and especially Maxim, why would they bother giving him an extremist charge when in reality they wanted to keep him in prison for a long time and including even torturing him? This is what happens in Russia. If you're in opposition, and not like LDPR, which is quasi-opposition, who pretends that there's a democratic process and they have their voice, which are convenient to Putin and the Kremlin. Anyone who's inconvenienced, this is what happens. Look what happened to Navalny. He's been poisoned. Of course, he's getting treatment in Germany, and Germany stated that he was poisoned by a variant of a Novichok, which clearly such substances would only be accessed by state actors. I'm not saying Kremlin did it, but still it would be a state actor if in fact he was poisoned with such substance. So let's get back to Maxim. Again, his suicide note. Who says that he's apologizing to the prison system? That doesn't even, again, make any sense. Also, the note, clearly in his handwriting, it would have been coerced because, again, his lawyer said he was tortured. That falls under Magnitsky scenario. Magnitsky was tortured and died horribly in Russia, and he was denied medical treatment. And therefore, that's why there's a Magnitsky Act that was implemented by the West, and the EU was even mentioning last year that they wanted to add more to this. So what does everybody think in this scenario? It is very challenging to be in opposition in Russia and borderline dangerous because you can even encounter death. There's also more to this week that happened. This week there was also a proposal that was done which is quite serious in regards to human rights. The Gosduma proposed changes to 15.3. 15.3 meaning that anyone that does not coincide with the views of Kremlin and is deemed unsafe for Russia, their website could be banned and they could be removed without a court hearing, without a due process, or any right to the appeal. It should be also pointed out in 2020, June 26, the European Court of Human Rights ruled that websites blocked in Russia are in violation of the right of freedom of expression. They're in violation specifically to Article 10, right to freedom of expression, of the European Convention of Human Rights, as well as a violation of Article 13, right to an effective remedy in conjunction with Article 10 of the European Convention. And it stems from a famous case, of course, of Vladimir Kharitonov versus Russia. This ruling came in June. In July 1st, there was a vote in regards to amendments proposed by Putin in January to the Russian Constitution, and of course it passed. The voting, yes, everybody voted, but the majority did not even know what it was voting for. It only had yes or no on the ballot, and there was additional challenges, and of course everybody knew it's going to pass. So now the Gosduma election just wrapped up over the weekend. It was a 3-day scenario, because usually it's one day, but because of coronavirus it was extended for 3-day voting. The results were announced this Monday, and suddenly immediately after, which is a day after, this proposal comes in. And of course, knowing if Kremlin wants something, it will be passed. So again, the human rights will not be existent in Russia as much of everything else. But what is important, should West immediately investigate what happened to Maxim? Should there be immediate reaction to this? The world community should react, journalists should react, because it's horrid to be tortured in holding cell, regardless of what his crimes were, and of course, again, for 20 years, highly likely he never committed any murders, that this is happening. And there's even an allegation of poisoning. Navalny was a little bit more luckier because, number one, well, he's alive. Number two, he was able to get granted access to Germany and their care, where they could do their blood work and confirm or deny what happened to him. In this case, this individual died horrible death in holding cell in one of the worst areas. Chelyabinsk Oblast is known for its torture rates for the inmates, and political too. So what is going to happen now? EU should step in immediately, and human rights, and investigate it. Yes, sanctions, but sanctions do not work as well, but at the same time, there should be an immediate response, because this is a horrendous situation that keeps happening again and again. This is not a first case, not unfortunately the last case, and this continues to happen. It is dangerous being in opposition, yes, but it is also completely unconstitutional to torture someone. It is completely unconstitutional to accuse somebody of certain crimes, and while trying to beat them out of confession, and even the suicide note that was left for everybody to thank prison system and apologize to them, that does not sound right in any ways. That does not sound like anything anyone would do under their free will. And if there is a poisoning involved too, this is very serious. Please subscribe to my channel. Please click like. I would love to hear everybody's opinions. You can also read my articles under Kristina Kitova at www.communalnews.com. Thank you for watching, and hope everybody has a great day.